Welcome, people of the World Wide Web. So it is an early 4K release. So people of the channel who will know, who come across me, I don't normally collect 4K. Funnily enough, I do own it and have it. And when looking, knowing that this package was on this way, I did play around my Xbox and realised that I had deactivated the 4K adaptation, so to speak, or enableability on my Xbox Series X, if you've ever got one. So if you go into settings of display in that, there is a turn on and off. So I did turn it on and calibrate my TV, which realized for some reason I must have turned that off, where I've been having issues with my sound. I don't know. I've had it a long time. I play a lot of games, so maybe there was an issue. But anyway, I have pre-ordered this item. So this is my last physical media pre-order. Comes in a soft package, which was a bit of a shock because I've seen other people pick this up. Only supposed to be out, I think almost a week early. Sorry about the noise. Got that new packaging smell. So this comes from Arrow, and it is a 4K upgrade of some movies that I'm a massive fan of. Specifically the third one, which a lot of people aren't big fans of. So here we have, so as I say, this comes from Arrow. It's their exclusive version. So as you can see on the edge, it says Arrow there, and obviously then the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle logo, trilogy, and then you have obviously Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1, Secretly Ooze, and then obviously what was Turtles in Time, but classed as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. As I say, 3 is the one. It's why I kind of understand nostalgia and why people sometimes have they put specific movies on pedestals and stuff like this. So as a young kid, I say I didn't have a lot of money and stuff like this. My mum and dad separated at a very young age. My mum remarried. He was in the army, so not around. So one of the earlier VHSs that I had was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 because I liked Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and I watched this quite a lot. Because of this and that childhood and those memories, I have this movie high up here. I know it's a bad film. I know a lot of people like it. I really enjoy it. I enjoy the figures. I enjoy the characters and enjoying the zaniness of it. But I do understand it's because of that nostalgia and those events that movie sits higher for me. Whereas if I was just watching it as an outsider perspective, probably now or later in life, or even at the time of having more, obviously I was very young when I was 8 when the original movie Turtles come out. Obviously not having money, I wouldn't have been able to see that. So really glad that the Arrowverse. So now we're taking the plastic off. So we have this kind of art image of the 4 Turtles. Image obviously being the comic that first kind of launched the Turtles a little bit from the independent channel. Obviously PG, so it is available there. And we have the arrow symbol again. Obviously this background is on all of the NECA figures and stuff like this. It's kind of the shell effect. People who a big Turtles fan will kind of know this is used quite a lot. It is feels like the naming does have a little bit of, as you can see, there is kind of reflective on it. It's not embossed or debossed, but you can definitely, even the writing here, it's kind of stickered, that makes sense. The exact same as on the other side. And then obviously on the back there is this massive information overload. I'm not a big one for the information overload. The top, obviously, because it's a sleeve, and the bottom have nothing on it. So we will take the sleeve off. Thin plastic, quite movable, as you see. And then we are presented with a hard box. So again, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the shell effect in the background. And then obviously Arrow, I believe this is Arrow's symbol there with this. Then we're Teenage Mutant Turtles. And then we have the cracked canister with the ooze. Kind of, it was seen in 1, it was dropped down sewers, and this is kind of a depiction of that image. But it was also kind of used in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the Secretly Ooze. But they don't have the NRGI, I think, are the initials that sit on the edge, which is a bit strange why it's not included. And overall looking, I haven't got any damage or dings or dents or anything on this, so that's good. As you would have seen AJ's movie, you can hear that moving around. That's surplus stuff. So we'll pull this out first. So again, hard box, a little bit of movement, but great. So it'll look nice on the shelf. First off, we are presented with Roy's Greenwich Pizza. So this is the pizza company that they use, I believe, in the first movie, and Kino works for them in the second movie. Obviously 30 minutes or less and you get it for free or half off or something like that, I believe, in the first one. As you can see on the front cover, it's got like coffee stains, so it's kind of like a placemat that you would have in these American pizza places in the 90s, and then it's like a menu on the back, which I think is quite cool. So it gives you, and it shows you how much stuff was back in that day. If you can see the prices, fairly cheap. So then we open, funny enough, as I say about it, there is Kino. So Kino is in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. He also was in one of the suits in the first one. I want to say he was Donatello, but I could be wrong. Obviously, we have Splinter Lair, obviously voiced and animated by Kevin Clash of Elmo. So anybody who don't know, Elmo, the person who voices and narrated Elmo in the 90s, he also did Splinter. I won't go into all of these pages. Because it goes through each cast. You have obviously a scene from 3 because April O'Neil is in the Chinese agent era get-up. Then we have Kevin Eastman and Peter Loud, the two creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles there. And then obviously some of the suit performers there, I think. That's, yeah. Doesn't show you anything else. Good old Casey Jones there. Obviously, the turtles being caught in a net in Secret of Ooze when they go to try and confront the Foot Clan. And there you go. To probably end it, there's Mikey waiting for the pizza from the first movie. I believe he's got Don next to him. And he's like, yeah, it turns up. So that's really cool. I really like how they've kind of used the motif of a pizza company, and then Kino and stuff, all that in it. So next up we have, is it 2 posters or is it 1? Yep. So we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So this is the movie poster for the first movie for the 1990s. Hey dude, this is not a cartoon. Obviously, first live action was great. And then on the back, this is actually the art that was used. There's a poster in the third movie that depicts a medieval story of 4 turtle-like ninjas, and this is that's that image used on. If you get the NECA toys, this is the background for it. I could show you that, but I'm not going to bore you with the toys side of things. So that's one poster that will stay in there. That's cool, double image. Obviously, I would say they're more with NECA using that figure. That's probably why that image was a lot more easier to do. And then we have the 3 4Ks here. So so obviously Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, and then 1. And I really like, so I really like this image. B, obviously it's taken from the movie depiction. You have obviously Raph in his get up when he goes in town. You have Splinter in his cell when he is training with his master before Ruka Sensei slices off his ear. So let's open it up. So lots of little bits in here. So first, again, the disc is the same art as the front cover. Then we have some shiny kind of lithograph cards. So yeah, just same on the back, but you have Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Raphael. Oh no, there's another one. I assume taken, that's going to be Donatello, and that is Donatello. Fair enough. Then we have the stickers. So Donatello, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Raphael. Again, this, or not again, so this set I think cost me 56, 57 pound with postage and everything else. I didn't have any deals for Arrow, or I didn't get any discount. So paying that amount for free 4Ks, I think is really good. Even the stuff, as I say, I'm sure AJ and other people mentioned it. There's just this card in here with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in there. That's all. So that is one. I will try and put the stuff under the little slots. So yeah, very details on the back. So this is brand new restoration, so it will look good. The one thing I am looking for, let's see. So if you would have seen, and if you go on YouTube, there are videos of the guys in the suits. So if you've ever seen it and want to know behind the scenes, obviously when they had the turtle suits, there's one scene in the first movie where I think it's Mikey's got his mouth open, and essentially you see somebody's face like this in there. Quite funny, but most of the martial artists couldn't see. So when they're doing the fighting, they're having to just kind of like, learn to like kick, punch, point that way, kick that way, do a backflip, and then kind of the people have to work around them. So there's something, if you didn't know, there are stuff on the internet. I think there were early behind the scenes footage that showed that, and that's really cool to see, to see what these guys, I mean, in a massive suit that, martial arts thing, that obviously the suit adds more weight. It reduces movability in certain aspects. God forbid if you even go. So number two, the disc again is a reproduction of the art. Sorry, I didn't show the front. So we have Toka and Razor, which are the mutants. Essentially, this was supposed to be Bebop and Rocksteady, but they did not have the rights to use them, which is why we got these two. And then Super Shredder in the back with the mad purple kind of motif. And that's why we have the mutagen tube there in the corner with the letters that are on it. I say it's funny it's not on that. Maybe it's TGRI. Maybe that's what it is I'm thinking of, not the other one. So what comes with this is you have gimmicky, fast delivery, and obviously if you get 8, it's free. You get 2 new cards, Splinter and Shredder. Obviously the Himoto Yoshi and Roku Sensei. Is that what the card? Yeah, there, TGRI. There it is. There's the Kanaja, which is the company that is more featured in that one. And then we have the third poster, which obviously wasn't featured at. Yes, it's TGRI. There it is. I can't remember what TGRI, if it did even stand for anything. So obviously had Vanilla Ice as the soundtrack in this. So, okay, so what Lane have done is, whereas you've got 1 and 3, this gives you the movie poster for 2 with the shadows of Toka and Razor there. And then on the back you have the actual cover. But I think the artwork definitely looks newer to me for these, so I'm quite happy that they've included new artwork for this. Would have been nice to have different ones on the disc, but as I've kind of said, 50 quid for 3 4Ks and everything else that go with them. You can't beat that kind of deal and price. So to be honest, it doesn't bother me for them to throw all this stuff in there. As I say, I'm not really going to look at it or feature it in the book. I will. The rest of it won't. And then we have 4 there with Michelangelo with the scepter that takes him through time. As I say, I really love this movie. I know I'm in the minority, and I know a lot of people will hate me for that. But as I say, it's a classic form of nostalgia and having that connection to it, why it sits where it is. I'm not saying it's a brilliant movie. I'm not saying it's a crap movie. So then we have the 2 images, or we have a split image of April O'Neil. So we have the original April O'Neil there, and then obviously the lady that portrayed her in 2 and 3. So this is, I can't remember her name now. I do follow her. People always regard her as the better one, and obviously she's the first one of what you know. I think they both had elements to them. And then obviously good old Casey Jones there. That's a Jose Canseco Seiko bat, I think is what he's saying when he's fighting him in the park. And then obviously what they've done besides the first one, obviously you have the movie poster for free and the artwork on the back. So they've kind of thrown your 4 posters in there. Say if I was a massive Turtles fan and had the space, I would definitely pick this up. So obviously they are on the horses. It's funny when I get teleported and I think Mike's the wrong way. He's like, my horse ain't got a head, and he's actually riding on it backwards. I thought it was quite funny. And then obviously the really nice image. Obviously you've got the 4 turtles fighting, but you haven't got Nobunaga or Walker or any of the bad guys on this, which is a bit of a shame. Would have nice to see them cards. Obviously because they have they're the ones they're fighting against. But I understand the reasoning for it. All the cards do have a little bit of bent in the corners because they've not been stuck in loose. So I don't know if you can kind of see that on my packaging. So if you wanted to collect these cards, I would imagine let me just take it out. So obviously cards are a big thing now. If you sit there and you can kind of see the corners, all the corners are bent because they've just dong around it. For people who want to collect it are probably going to find that not be happy with that. But yeah, so obviously it has the do not sell separately. Not that I'd think you would want to. I mean, maybe if you didn't like free, you'd want to get some money. So no, so that is everything for this box set. So I think it's a great addition. I did have these on DVD more or less. I did upgrade number 1 to a Blu-ray recently, and I sold that when I pre-ordered this kit because it was going for I think about 10 quid or I think about £7 trading at CEX. So you know that £7 is £7 off this set. That makes sense, as I say. So there we have the little cast round of what it actually looks like. Again, don't know why they've not included the letters on the canister. Maybe that's from another image that they didn't want to show or hadn't come up. But as I say, perfect condition, no damage. Look forward to revisiting all of these movies because I absolutely adore them. And there we go. So as I say, £56 or £57 including postage. Not bad. A great 4K kit. Probably the best 4K box and probably the best, for price wise at least, box I've got this year. Obviously I have got like the Wild Robot and that I haven't watched yet, so I can't fully comment if this is my best pickup. But if you're a Turtles fan, this by far is a great addition to it. I say the movies are great. To watch the behind the scenes and stuff and see what goes into it, you know, you won't be you'll be missing out if you don't watch those, in my opinion. But yes, that has been my really great last pickup of 2025. Are you a Turtles fan? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. Otherwise, I've been Chris from Cypher Sigma Screen Time, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.